Your very freedom is under attack, and the FBI is being wielded as a political weapon to point out political enemies, and we cannot let that happen. FBI agents, you can't let that happen. So yesterday I called the FBI. You got to listen to the phone call later on in this video, but it is a must listen to. It is telltale. It will give you great insight, and you need to share this video and you need to like this video. It's not about me. It is about the truth getting out there, and people need to know what they're dealing with in America to the level that they're dealing with it. We all know something is wrong. We can feel it in your spider senses.
Spider sense going crazy.
You are going off all around you that something's not right in America. We know that. But to the level that it's not right, you can't sit there like a frog in the boiling pan of water and let it come upon you. You have to take action politically. You have to take action socially to get the truth out there. And so the title of this video says the FBI has a dirty secret. Well, the dirty secret about the FBI is that the FBI is dirty. And I don't mean all agents out there. In fact, most of the agents out there, how many ever there are, they probably don't even know to the level of corruption that exists inside their own organization that they work for. And so if you're an FBI agent watching this, and I know some of you are, or even the lady that I spoke to at the National Threat Operations Center yesterday on the phone, if you're watching this, consider my words, please. We're all Americans. We all love this country. We all want to exist peacefully in this country, and we just want to be left alone to live quiet and peaceful lives. But that's only going to happen when our lives are based on the basis of truth itself. So for FBI agents that are watching this video, and anyone else who's ever been in civil service, you took an oath. I took an oath when I entered into the military. And I want to read you that oath that the FBI takes. You know, when those young agents start out in the FBI Academy on the first day, they have to raise their right hand and repeat this oath. So listen to this. I, state your name obviously, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. Let me repeat that. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter, so help me God. So help me God. You know, the God of the Bible is the God of truth that this country is based on, whether anybody likes it or not. And that's the truth that is being eroded, and that's how you see foolish things like this that necessitate videos like this. So by the way, like this video, share it 1,000,000 times, because the truth has to get out there. Don't share it for me. Don't share it for anything YouTube has to offer. Share it for the love of country. Share it for the love of your own quiet and peaceful life, that you can still live according to the truth, that we have certain inalienable rights in this country that are God-given, that are based on the fundamentals of Judeo-Christian ethics and morals that undergird everything this country stands for and everything the Constitution was written to stand for the greater good of all American people. That's why we're the greatest country in the world, and we need to remain that way, but we're not going to if we don't take action politically and if we don't take action socially to keep the underpinnings of the truth, that we all love the freedoms that are based upon that truth. So make no mistake about it, your freedoms are under attack, and that's what this video is about. Your very freedom is under attack, and the FBI is being wielded as a political weapon to point out political enemies, and we cannot let that happen. FBI agents, you can't let that happen. You swore an oath to defend this country, to defend the Constitution, so help me God. The first question you have to ask is, do you even believe in that God? The God who created you, the God that created all things? Because if you do, there are certain truths that are non-negotiable. And so what prompted my phone call to the FBI? The love of the truth, the love of country, the love of my neighbor, but most importantly, the love of God. Because I want to live a quiet and peaceful life. I want to raise my kids. I want to love my wife in a country where I can live a quiet and peaceful life. and that those certain inalienable rights that are guaranteed to me, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that I can do that and live that way in this country. But that is being eroded, and we need to stop it, and we need to stop it now. So you may have seen or heard or not heard of Mike Glover. He's the creator of American Contingency. He has a video out that brought my attention to this very document. It says, "I am not a terrorist." Mike served this country for over 20 years in the U.S. military, and he served it faithfully, not only as a member of the United States military, but also as a contractor. And in his own words, he fought terrorism, and now he's being labeled and associated with terrorism itself by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Department of Justice. And that is completely wrong. That is turning evil on its head and making it good, and turning good on its head and making it evil. And we can't do that. But see, that relies on the fundamental premise of truth. The truth that God of the Bible, that God that this country was founded on, has said is true. That good is good and evil is evil. It's not the other way around. And that we have to rationalize that and understand that and reason from that point of view in every and all situations of life, including preserving our own freedom in this country. So not only did I see Mike Glover's video, if you haven't seen that, I'm going to link that in the description below. You need to go watch that video. And you need to like that video, and you need to share that video as well and make it as popular as possible. But also I saw a video of Ted Cruz talking about these exact documents from Project Veritas with the director of the FBI, and that was just a couple days ago. I'm going to link that video in the description as well. You need to see that exchange, and then you need to listen to this phone call that I made to the FBI yesterday on this video and watch it. And you need to share and like all those 3 videos. You know, if you've watched my videos, I don't solicit like that. I don't tell you, like this video, share this video just for me. But you really need to like those videos and share those videos to get them out there to the general public. And so please share them on social media, share them through text message with your friends. Just get the information out there. Both of the videos I mentioned will be linked in the description below. Plus, like and share this video that you're watching now. Now, something I want you to know, when I actually made this phone call, I called FBI headquarters. You couldn't get anybody on the phone. So I rolled over and I called a field office. And you can't get anybody on the phone at the field office. What happens is all the calls for threat evaluation, they roll over to the National Threat Operations Center, which is part of the Department of Justice or part of the FBI. And so I got one of the operators, not an agent, but one of the operators from NTOC on the phone, and we had a discussion about this very document and this very situation, and it's very revealing. So I want you to listen to that, listen to it twice, really understand what's being said and what's being asked. I treated it in a lighthearted fashion because that's the way I want it to remain. I want it to remain lighthearted but serious, as we're walking on thin ice in this country, and we need to preserve as much unity in this country as we can. No matter our political divides or no matter our social divides, we're better than that as the American people, and we need to preserve that the best we can. So watch the video, leave a comment of what you think, leave a comment of what you think needs to next happen politically and socially and how we can help these things. But most of all, as I said before, I can't say it again, like these videos and share these videos, the ones that are linked and the one you're watching. All right, so here's the phone call to the FBI.
One moment, please. Hello. Thank you for calling the FBI. This is not a 911 service for taking emergency calls. For emergencies, please call 911. Si usted desea escuchar este mensaje en español, por favor oprima el número 1. In a few moments, you will be connected to an operator. This call is recorded for quality assurance, investigative, or other purposes. If you do not wish to be recorded, please press 1 to learn how to submit a tip online. After the instructions are provided, your call will be disconnected. Some states have passed red flag laws that restrict individuals from having firearms based on the belief they are a danger to themselves or others. Your local law enforcement agency may have more information on these laws. During this call, you will be asked to provide identifying information about yourself and or the persons about whom you are calling. We use this information to assist in investigating your tip. You do not have to provide your name or other personal information. However, the lack of information may delay or hurt our ability to investigate your tip. Any information you can provide may be used for authorized purposes. To report a tip on an FBI case currently highlighted in the news, press 1. To report a tip about a threat to human life, serious bodily injury, significant violent action, or threats to national security, press 2. To report suspicious email, hacked email, internet scams, or ID theft, press 3. To report mortgage fraud, press 4. To report telemarketing fraud, gift card fraud, identity theft, or unfair or fraudulent business practices, press 5. If you are calling about any other issue, press 6. To repeat this menu, please press the pound. Please provide the zip code of the area you are calling from now. One moment while I transfer you to the next available representative. Your call will now be recorded. Thank you for calling the FBI. May I have your first name, please?
Sure, Anthony.
Is that A-N-T-H-O-N-Y?
It is.
Thank you. And your last name?
I'll spell it for you. B as in boy, A-T-T-A-G-L-I-A.
Okay, thank you. And your date of birth?
That's correct.
And your telephone number? And is that a house phone or a cell phone?
That's a cell phone.
And that was
Correct.
and your zip code?
Yes.
Thank you. And what were you calling to report today?
Well, that's the thing. I was calling to ask a question to see about future reporting in association with my question, if that makes sense.
Okay. What was your question?
So I saw a document online that's being circulated from your department. It's called Militia Violent Extremism from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and it lists a bunch of different symbols on the paper. And I see those symbols on cars and hats and t-shirts daily through people I know and people in Walmart and things like that, and I'm wondering, do I need to be concerned about that?
So I wouldn't say necessarily that you would need to be concerned about it. It really just depends on, I guess, the person, because sometimes symbols, sometimes people aren't aware of symbols, and they're just wearing something that, they just think looks nice. But if they're saying something that seems suspicious, or they're acting in a way that seems suspicious, then I would become a little cautious in the.
Okay, so one of them is the Betsy Ross flag, and another one is the Gadsden flag. And so what would I look for suspicious wise with that person that has that on?
I would say their behavior. I would say if they are giving you reason to believe that they're a part of a militia violent extremist group, then I would become concerned and would want to report that. But as far as just wearing it, it doesn't necessarily mean that they would be in the extremist group. It just means that they could possibly be wearing something that they're not sure of what it is, or it doesn't mean the same thing to them.
Okay, so basically I don't have any reason to be afraid in Walmart if I see one with a flag on their shirt or something?
Yeah, unless you see them with something suspicious, or they're acting in a way that's suspicious, or saying things that can be interpreted as terroristic or something. Just seeing those symbols alone, I wouldn't.
Okay. So are there key words associated with that I need to be aware of, or code phrases, or?
No, I think that if you see somebody acting suspicious and then having that symbol, then at that point, you might want to increase your awareness.
Okay.
But just based off them wearing it, I wouldn't be too concerned.
And then what would be suspicious activity, I guess, associated with militia violent extremism? What would you say that activity would be to look out for?
Like if you hear somebody trying to, come up with a meeting, like calling people to do something, possibly violent, or trying to gather people for a type of movement, and those, or if they are carrying weapons on them, like large amounts of weapons, if they're doing something that you look at it and it's not normal day-to-day activities.
Okay, so if they're carrying a weapon, is that illegal, I guess?
Carrying a weapon isn't really illegal.
Is it suspicious?
And one weapon wouldn't make me suspicious.
Okay.
If they're like waving the weapon around and acting.
Well, yeah, with or without a flag T-shirt on, I would report somebody waving a weapon around, because that wouldn't be militia violent extremism. That would just be a crazy person with a gun, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I would use your own judgment, because I would say you would be pretty, aware of if somebody was acting suspicious. I would just use your own judgment based off of that.
Okay.
But as far as like the militia violent extremism, I would say it's more not so much about the symbols, it would be the symbols and some sort of behavior.
Okay. So on the same paperwork, it says, it mentions some groups, and I know some people in one of the groups is called American Contingency. And it says, mainstream militia nationwide, mostly online activity, low history of violence. But I've seen, like, everything I've heard about American Contingency, they do like flood relief, because I'm from Louisiana, 2016, they had a really bad flood and all that. And American Contingency, like, I think they just help out with a flood in Tennessee. They go and provide food for people and shelter for people. It says low history of violence, but I'm not aware of any history of violence at all with the group American Contingency. Like, they're just a bunch of helpful people, like first responders, and they're made up of people that I would teach my children to trust, like police officers. And
yeah, it doesn't take the whole group to, do something. If somebody was just related to that group and a person decided to act out and they were just a part of it, then that could be the reason why it says low, So it doesn't mean like the whole group in general. It could mean that just one member of it decided to act out in a cause for that group, and so they have to disclaimer as that.
Okay, so as symbols of militia networks, and they put American Contingency on there, would you say do not join that group, or join that group, or?
So anything that you choose to do is up to you, because that would be your First Amendment right. But I would say that anything that would be against the law or the Constitution, that would be whenever I would say you're crossing the line, and you might want to reevaluate your decision.
I got you. Yeah, I don't want to do anything illegal at all, ever. So then it also mentions on the paperwork that with the symbols, it says 2A is one of the symbols, and it has a firearm, and it says their existence with the second, they justify their existence with the Second Amendment due to the mention of a self-regulated militia as well as the right to bear arms. So that's kind of confusing to me. Can you help me with that? Is that, you just mentioned the Constitution, that's why I'm seeing that there. So militias are legal, correct?
Yeah, so you can pretty much do anything as long as you're not causing, violence or doing something illegal. Just being a part of a group isn't illegal, but it's whenever you take an action that would be against the law, or it would be causing others to do things that were against the law or that could cause harm to other people.
Okay. So I guess final question would be, if something is against the law, but the law becomes illegal. In other words, the government tries to do something that they're not supposed to do according to the Constitution, like take your firearms away from legal citizens. Is it then wrong to be part of a militia and withstand government tyranny?
I would assume so, but until that were to be like done and the laws would be passed, you know, they could say like if you already own it, you know, you can keep it. It really just depends on like the actual nature of everything, so I can't really say to that.
Okay. But you would say the Constitution is still in force and valid in this country, and the Second Amendment included in that, correct?
As of right now, the Second Amendment is still a part of the Constitution, so it would still be upheld, yes.
So you're an FBI agent, correct?
I'm not an agent.
Oh.
I'm the National Threat Operations Center.
Okay.
Intake.
I didn't know if I was speaking to an agent, because I think you have to swear as an agent to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. I was
Yes.
pretty sure you have to, because I served in the military myself, and I know I had to, before I joined the military, or you join any civil service, you have to swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I appreciate your time today.
Yeah, no problem, and you have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. You too.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, so that's my call to the FBI. Again, like this video, share this video. We need to get the truth out there. There are 2 videos linked in the description below. If you click see more or read more in the bottom, it's going to pull it up to the side on the right. At least if you're on a computer, I don't know exactly what it does on the phone, but it does something similar. Watch those videos, like those videos, share those videos, get the word out there. But most of all, live by the truth. Love your neighbor. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. God bless you and yours.